Hello, everybody. Welcome to RAM, Richard and Mark's wrestling podcast. And we are starting off today by talking about the WrestleMania 41 predictions. My name is Richard.
And I'm Mark.
Getting excited for WrestleMania 41 this weekend. You excited? You looking forward to it?
I'm excited. Yes. I'm looking over the card. We've got matches on there both nights. I'm not sure which one I'm more excited about, night-wise.
Yeah, it's a good strong card. As I was watching on Monday Night Raw, recently just happened, where they were talking about the entire card and just going through it, I was like, you've got a pretty stacked roster. There isn't really a match there that I'm not looking forward to. Maybe one that I'm not too bothered about, but mostly WrestleMania 41 looks solid, in my opinion, with a couple of interesting points. So, right then. Okay, so I'm guessing what I've done is that we're going to go through the match card Saturday first, followed by Sunday, and I've put them in an order that I believe is going to happen. Now, this is obviously not the official order, because I think there is. I think you can look online and you can actually see an official order of which match is which, but I've chosen to avoid that. Or Raw has already told me what the order was in reverse chronological order, because they always begin with the main event of Saturday night is the triple threat, and then they go backwards. So maybe that is the order. I don't know. But personally, I just wanted to know what the matches were, not the order, because that's part of the excitement, really. What's next? I think.
It would really blow your mind if they started with the Roman Reigns. It's the CM Punk Seth Rollins match.
Yeah. I mean, it's not unusual for WWE to lie to your face.
You thought you were going to main event Punk, but no. You're on first.
Did I say main event? I meant kickoff. Imagine that. Okay, let's get into this without further ado. So I think it's fair to say that the very first, in my opinion, the very first match is going to be Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. So Mark, I'm going to throw it over to you. First of all, who do you think's winning and why?
I'm going to go with Gunther just because WWE like doing this thing where they build up somebody as a face and destroy them, and then the next year they're the champion.
Right. Do you know what, Mark?
Over to you.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, okay, so I'm going to go with Jey Uso. I think he is winning this match. I was like, this has been... I mean, this could possibly be the first time I've seen WrestleMania been overbuilt, to be quite honest, like to a point where I'm like, I'm tired of watching the build-up. I just want to watch the match. Like, I don't know what else you can do. The whole Jimmy segment where he beats into a bloody pulp and starts licking his blood off his fingers. I was like, that's great. That is literally as far as you can go with this. But no, there has been more. But I think Jey Uso is winning this because the build has been crazy. I think, and plus, as a first match, you're going to want to start on a positive note for the sake of a show. But with Gunther winning, which could happen, I did think, like, what if Gunther won? And everyone was just like Cody Rhodes WrestleMania 39 syndrome. Like, what? Like, complete shock and disbelief. This was in the bag.
Or Taker with Brock, you know. They do occasionally do it.
They do. They do.
Here's going to be the clear winner. Clear winner. No.
Yeah.
I'll throw a question though. How would you think Gunther would lose? Would Jimmy or Jimmy's and Jay's mom get involved? Because last year, Sammy's girlfriend, I think, did she get involved?
They're going to make I think they're going to make a pretty big thing out of this. There's a number of matches on this card where I think other things will happen as part of the match. Now, I'm sure that maybe Jimmy will do his, who's that hooded figure who snuck into the match with his hood up? Like, maybe something like that. And then Ludwig Kaiser might get involved as well, just to balance it all out, because you don't want Jey Uso winning the belt from the help of his brother, because it kind of makes him look a bit weak. But if you have Ludwig Kaiser come in before, it balances it all out kind of thing. So they're going to make a big thing out of this because, well, Look how many promos we've had.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm going with Jey Uso. You're going with Gunter. I think it's all been done very well, but now I'm ready for the match. I just hope the match is good. That's the thing. I hope it's. And I've also thinking like, okay, you put the belt on Jey Uso. Where do you go after this? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, part of me thinks long term, you probably if Jey wins the belt, which I'm very confident in that he will, you're probably going to have another Jimmy versus Jey match at some point for that belt. Because I think those two are looking back at their WrestleMania match last year and going, that could have been a lot better.
Meh.
Yeah, it was a solid meh. Super kick, super kick, super kick, more super kick, frog splash, super kick, match end. It was just like, okay, that literally was it. It should have been more than that, but well, if you like super kicks, watch this match.
I think, Rich, I'll throw in my Raw after Mania spoiler now.
Which isn't a spoiler. Okay, go on then.
If Jey Uso wins and Cena doesn't win,
stop it.
Cena not cashes in, but beats Jey Uso the next night, still winning his 17th World Championship.
Clever. It could work. It could work. But
how annoyed would you be? You've won it, and the next night, Raw after Mania, it's taken away.
I don't think they will do that. Not under the Paul Levesque regime. I don't think it's in his style to do that. Vince McMahon would. They'd be like, give him the moment to win the belt, take it off him the next night. It's like, I think he would just do that because Vince McMahon's planning is Vince McMahon's planning. Nobody else has a say in it. He's just what he thinks. I don't think Triple H would do that. Triple H believes in like long title runs. And he's right because it actually builds the gravitas of the belts. If you keep swapping the belt around, then it's just like, it doesn't mean anything. It's just basically a toy. It's just a thing. And that's not how it's meant to work. So what are you saying? Jey Uso, Gunter? Who are you going for?
I'll still go with Gunter, I think.
Okay, well, I'm going with Jey on that one. Okay, next match on the cards. We've got for the Raw Tag Team Championships, we've got the War Raiders versus the New Day. Interesting one. Thought of. Who have you got?
I don't know about you. I've not been invested in this.
No.
I like the New Day as heels, though.
Yeah. Which, on this one, I'm going to take this one first. I think the New Day are going to win. I think they need...
Because what would have been the point?
Basically, yeah. I mean, their heel run was very sudden. It was very, if anything, like turning on Big E was, in my opinion, a waste. I was like, that should have been a golden moment. But they kind of used it, turned heel, sorry. And then sort of nothing really happened for a long time. And I'm like, oh yeah, the New Day, they're bad guys now. They just did a lot of promos standing up at the back of the stadium. They weren't really part of the card. They were just going and getting loads of boos from the crowd. But now
it was played in that way, though, wasn't it? That they weren't getting put on the card. Why aren't you putting on the card?
Yeah.
And it's because we turned on Big E. That's I think was the point. But they need something else to happen now.
I feel like they need the belts to justify their heel turns a bit more. I think if they had the belts, it would make the tag team division a bit more interesting because I like the War Raiders. I think they're a good tag team. I'm typically not really a massive fan of this kind of tag team, big, bulky, Viking kind of men that we've seen many times. I think it's fair to say that they are a pretty good tag team. I'm not taking that away from them, but I'm not that invested in this match. But I'm going to go with the New Day on this one. What do you think?
Definitely have to agree with you.
Yeah, I think
New Day.
So. New Day. The New Day. Will Big E get involved?
And help the New Day becoming the New Day.
Or help the War Raiders. They turned on him. I mean, every match doesn't have to have an interference. I'm just saying that now. This could be a straight up tag team match for the belts and the New Day win. I think that's what's going to happen because I think they would be having the belts would get them more heat. And sure, the War Raiders can have a rematch, maybe on Raw or something, but they've had their time with the belt. I think it'd be more interesting on New Day.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay. Right, next on the card, I have got Jade Cargill versus Naomi as match number 3. Like I said, this is just the order I think it's going to happen, but that doesn't mean it is. So Jade Cargill versus Naomi. This is a match that I am semi-interested in. But I'll let you go
You know
first.
what? You know why? Because you are a Raw fan.
Do you know what? Maybe. I mean, I don't really prefer... I think Raw has been better than SmackDown, but I wouldn't say I preferred Raw over SmackDown. Sometimes SmackDown has its moments, but let's be honest, Raw has always been the dominant show. It's always been the first show, really. So, but yeah, who have you got? Jade Cargill or Naomi?
Pass. No, I'm joking. I really like this storyline because it plays back to the I did it for The Rock, and Naomi's stepdad is Rikishi. Yeah. So I like the fact that there was a mystery around that, and then it was her that turned out. She's also doing this caution thing, which reminds me of Owen Hart. Owen Hart had the warning thing. Yeah. When he had the yellow. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know, So it's reminded me of a few different storylines in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Naomi.
You're going to go with Naomi.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking about this so much. This is one of the matches that I must admit I am least interested in, if I'm completely honest. I think that now Naomi's taken a heel turn, possibly, but Jade beat the living 7 shades of sugar out of her at Elimination Chamber, and she looked like a beast doing it. So based on that, I want to go Jade Cargill.
Squash man.
Possibly. I'm going to go with Jade Cargill. Although if Naomi wins, well done. At the moment, I'm not. It hasn't really had much of a build. I don't think it's not really. I think they just wanted to get basically as many wrestlers as they could on the card, and they really wanted to get Jade on the card, and I think so too. I think Jade Cargill is definitely a future champion. She's built like anything. She looks like a champion. So yeah, she needs to be on the card for Mania. Whereas Naomi turning heel would make her more interesting, but I don't really see her in the spotlight at the moment. Maybe later, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Jade. But this match I'm not bothered about.
Should this be Jade versus Bianca Belair?
You'd asked me 6 months ago, absolutely. I would have been like, Jade versus Bianca is a match that will happen. That will happen. When it will happen, I don't know, but absolutely. They were tag team champions together. And as you know, unless you are like a proper tag team, like the War Raiders or the Motor City Machine Guns, I give them a different name every single time. There you go. Or the Machine Gun Kellys, or whatever you want to call them. I mean, unless you're one of those, it is inevitable that your tag team partner are going to become enemies and have a match against each other. That's just the law of wrestling, in my opinion. So Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, yeah, that is going to happen at some point. And I'd be excited for that. I think that would be a really good match. Yeah, all right, then. Moving swiftly on. Okay, next on the match card on Saturday night, we have got Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. And I am genuinely excited for this one. Because I love El Grande Americano way more than I should. But I'll let you take this one first.
Yeah, so I was thinking of this earlier. Could this be I know we've got Jey Uso and Gunther as the
Yeah.
first match, but could we have a swerve and have this one first match? It'd be quite an exciting speed-wise.
Yeah. But no. So this match, yet again, this match doesn't have anywhere near as much attention as the Jey Uso match. And I think, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, ever since they started, I think it was WrestleMania 35. Yeah, WrestleMania 35, when it was Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. That's the very first match for the Universal Championship. And that had a holy shit moment. So, because when you saw Paul Heyman walking down the ramp, you're like, oh man, they're doing it first. Brock wants to beat traffic. So I'm like, so that was the first time where I think, you know what? Starting off with the championship match is a wicked way to get the crowd on their feet. Not that they don't already need it. And Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano is just not a match to do that, to be quite honest. But what do you think? What do you? I mean, I had a theory on this one, but I'd like to hear what you think first.
It's got to be El Grande, surely, because he's going with this. I think there'll still be a reveal in it, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I think there will be a cheating aspect. Rey Mysterio always wins at WrestleMania.
That's true. And perhaps he will here. I was thinking, right, okay, the main swerve you can do on this is that I was looking across the WWE roster and I was like, who has a body or a physique just like Chad Gable? And the problem is there's no one because he's quite short, but he's built like a bodybuilder. Like he is shredded, that guy. Because it'd be really cool if they took off the mask and it wasn't Chad Gable. That would be like the ultimate swerve. But I for this one, I mean, this is kind of he's such a silly character that I really like so much because it is so silly. Even his music is just like kind of like offensive, piss-taking Mexican music, you know. So I'm gonna go with El Grande Americano on this one.
Sure, in his contract he's got a stipulation, I will never lose from now at WrestleMania. That's what it seems to have been for the last few years. Or did he lose last year? I can't remember. It felt like he won. Always feels like he wins.
Yeah, I mean, it could.
Just written on a napkin.
I don't know. But yeah, I think this will be a fun match. Rey Mysterio is still, considering his age, he's doing remarkably well, to be quite honest. He doesn't seem like he's showing any signs of slowing down, to be quite honest. So, and Chad Gable, El Grande Americano, we don't know who it is world class at the moment. So yeah. Okay.
Interference in this one, probably.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, there could be interferences on any of these matches. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there really could be.
We've got LWO, we've got American Made. So.
I'm sure they'll be there. It's WrestleMania. Get everybody on the card as much as you can. I mean, that's what everybody want to see, you know. So yeah, it could be. But I'm going to go with an El Grande win. I'd like to see the character stick around a little bit longer. That's what I've got next.
No, then.
Yeah. So yeah, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. I think this is going to be a good match.
Very clear who it's going to be. It's got to be Jacob Fatu.
It's got to be Jacob 100%.
Fatu. You're building him up so much. I love LA Knight. I think he's ace.
Yeah.
But I just think that he was given that championship for it to be taken off him. He's the transitional.
Yeah, I guess you kind of look at it and think, what's the plan for him next? Because LA Knight he will crawl up the card, as he kind of is. I don't want to use the term crawl up the card, actually, but I think maybe past the United States Championships, Jacob Fatu, because LA Knight's been around longer. I can see LA Knight going towards the World Heavyweight Championship scene. So yeah, I could see that maybe bypassing the Intercontinental. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. But Jacob Fatu is just such a presence. Like when you can hear the reactions from the crowd when he comes out. Like they love him, you know, to a point where he has whatever's left of the bloodline at this point. It's like he's kind of like Solo Sikoa's kind of faded into the background, to be quite honest. And Jacob's kind of become the star of the show. And yeah, I think it's time to give the man a belt. His matches and onslaughts with Braun Strowman were ace. That elevated him, in my opinion, just taking down this ridiculous human being. His moonsaults are great. He makes them look savage. I never thought you could make a moonsault look savage, to be quite honest. But yeah.
Yeah. And he does that pop-up moonsault, which also the next match, also the girl in the next match does.
But they're very different.
So it's just almost like her is awful because Jacob Fatu's moonsault was so good.
Yeah.
It makes that one.
I love how he like ravages women. He does one, then another, and then another. Back-to-back moonsaults. Yeah, this was a no-brainer, in my opinion. Jacob Fatu. I don't think anything different is going to happen. I'm not sure what LA Knight will do afterwards, but they'll find something for him to do because he's well over with the crowd. And I like him as well. He's a charismatic guy. I hate his finisher. I think his finisher sucks, but I like him as a wrestler. Okay, so continuing on. Next match, we have got Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the women's Raw? No, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Nope, that's completely wrong. The WWE Championship. There we go.
I'm so excited, Rich.
Do you know what? I'll let you finish talking first. I have actually changed my tune on this one. Whatever that means.
I just think we've had the worst build out of like all the matches so far. I prefer the Jade Cargill and Naomi build to this. It just feels like it was Charlotte Flair every single week just attacking Tiffy from behind.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like they have like a spark or chemistry or anything like that. I think Tiffy had more chemistry with Nia Jax than she does with Charlotte Flair.
I'm going to have to agree with you somewhat on that because I didn't see any promos for this at all. I was like, by the way, this WWE Women's Championship match is happening and it seems to have a WrestleMania curse because when Bayley had it, nobody cared. And it was just like, because there wasn't really any build up for it. But I went back and actually watched them and I was like, it is actually getting quite heated now. So I am kind of excited for this because of the promos on Charlotte when it was on an interview show on TV talking about her third divorce. And I was like, okay. But you think is with wrestling, you have to take everything as an angle. But the best kind of angles are the ones where there is an element of truth to them. They're the ones that really bring out the angles. So I am kind of interested in it. But who do you think is winning?
Tiffy.
Yeah. I think Tiffany Stratton's winning as well. I don't see the point in putting the belt back on Charlotte.
I just don't think we should take it off her yet because I don't feel like she's had that moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. Tiffany Stratton needs a big opponent to conquer to call herself a better champion because at the moment, she's just, like I said, she's keeping it warm. So... And people like her. A lot of people like Tiffany Stratton. I got nothing against her. I do find the whole "it's Tiffy time" kind of childish and annoying, but I'm guessing that's kind of the character. That's her character, the prettiest moonsault. She's like a Barbie girl kind of thing. So she's got it working for her. She looks good with the belt. That's one thing I can say because it actually kind of suits her. But at the same time, it's Charlotte Flair. So I should say Charlotte because Charlotte always wins. But I don't think that would be interesting because then I'd be like, where are we going next? So I would keep the belt on Tiffany Stratton, personally. That's what I'm thinking. You thinking the same?
No, I agree with that one.
I agree with that one. In that case, it brings us to our main event of the night, which is the triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, with the wise man standing in the corner of CM Punk. Ooh, well, this one has been heavily promoted. Really have gone as far as they can go with this one. So I want to cut straight to the chase. Who's winning?
Before I watched Raw,
Okay.
I was going to go with Seth Rollins.
Interesting. Okay.
Because last year he lost twice.
Yeah.
In one event. He lost the year before to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I just feel like you need to give him his props because he has just been there, just there. I love Seth Rollins, but they've never gave him the ball to run with. Let's be.
Yeah. He's kind of become a Kevin Owens.
But then the end of Raw was him, like, again with the chair to Roman Reigns back.
Yeah.
So who do we feel like needs to get a win now?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair to say the history has a pattern of saying that whoever is standing up, holding the belt, or standing tall with the opponent over the opponent on the floor on the Raw or the SmackDown before is the person who's going to lose the match. That's what I usually find. There's a pattern in it. I don't think Seth Rollins is winning. I think he's just part of this match because it adds an interesting dynamic with the history of Roman and CM Punk. And they're right. They're right to make this a triple threat. Definitely. So who have you got? I've got a theory on this one. And I think you already know what I'm going to say. But so you didn't. So not Seth Rollins, but who have you got? Oh, we're torn.
This has been the hardest one for me. This has been out of all of the matches, it's been the hardest decision. I don't think it's Punk either.
Oh,
because with Punk, the whole deal was he wants to be in the main event.
Yeah,
he never said he wants to win the main event. So I don't think that's important to him. Just being in the main event is important. Roman Reigns, I'm going to go with.
Okay, you've been forced your hand on that one. Screw it, Roman Reigns. Well, the thing is that I was having a chat about this one, and I was like, okay. So let's think narrative. Let's think about your characters. Where do they go? What's the climax? Where are they going? Okay, we know you've got I can't do this without doing a bit of a spoiler, but I think in John Cena. Okay, say John Cena wins the belt. Okay, say he takes the belt away from Cody Rhodes. Then you have got a beautiful opportunity for CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. And I was just like,
would be lovely.
Come on, guys. It's right there.
Yeah, it writes itself.
Yeah.
I just know they've got like this horrible thing of the predicted person that you think is going to win not winning. They do it a lot.
I know the winner of this match is not entitled to a title shot, but in my imagination, it kind of is because you've just defeated Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Surely that puts you in the title scene. Not that Punk needed to not be in the title. Of course he is. He's CM Punk. He's one of the most famous wrestlers on the planet. So that's what I think. I think CM Punk is going to win. And then that's going to cause a bit of confusion with Paul Heyman. Does he follow Punk? Does he stay with Roman? What does he do there? That creates a bit more drama there. But essentially, it's the Money in the Bank moment. And I'm like, yeah, I think that would be... And I think it's fair to say that Triple H does like going back. Hence the chair shot from Seth Rollins on Raw, just gone reminiscent of the betrayal of the Shield. I was like, yeah, okay, so only long-standing wrestling fans are going to get that, which I think most of WWE wrestling fans are pretty long-standing, to be honest. But yeah, I am going to go with CM Punk on this one because of that reason. And you're going with Reigns.
Not wanting to.
Not wanting to.
CM Punk to win.
You can change your mind if you like. I'll let you change your mind. Go on. Tatanka runs down.
Paul Heyman's going to win.
Say that again.
Paul Heyman's going to win.
Paul Heyman's going to win. There we go. All right. It's funny actually. I've been writing down the answers. They're almost all completely different.
Are they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm going to stick with Roman Reigns, even though I think Punk's going to win.
Yeah.
I just don't. In my mind, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If you're giving someone a win, Seth Rollins should be that person to win.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't won in so many years at WrestleMania
No.
since the triple threat. You know, when he cashed in, that was a big moment, wasn't it? But that wasn't like a proper match. It started with a different match and then ended Seth Rollins cashing in.
Yeah.
He's not had that big main event where he's like won, has he?
No, he hasn't, to be honest. I mean, I've been watching all of the WrestleManias from WrestleMania 28 for some strange reason. I started with that one. I don't really know why. Well, I do know why. It appeared on my YouTube feed, and I thought, oh yeah, I remember watching that one. That's the one with all the palm trees. And I just sort of just went with that. And then I thought, I want to keep watching them. And I'm currently on 37 is where I'm at. I skipped 36 because it was lockdown WrestleMania. It's too awkward to watch.
Yeah.
It's just men rolling around a ring going, like you can just hear all the things you don't want to listen to. And I'm like, okay, this is just really weird. This is, to be quite honest. So yeah.
The only thing I remember is the Bray Wyatt and John Cena match.
Yeah.
Which
the
Fiend, sorry.
Funhouse match.
Yeah, that's the only match I remember.
Yeah.
And it did predict what he was going to do to Cody Rhodes like so many years earlier.
Looks like Bray Wyatt is the true visionary of the WWE. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The man
back
had
to our card. WrestleMania
yeah, back
card.
to the card. Right, that's Saturday night anyway. So now we're moving on to Sunday night. So what I've put down is what I believe to be the first match of Sunday, which is going to be the triple threat for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. I believe that's going to be the opening match. So, Mark, thoughts, please.
I think you mentioned this. Bianca Belair is the John Cena of the women era.
That's how I see it.
Io Sky hasn't had that. She lost last year to Bayley. Rhea Ripley won so many times at WrestleMania. Like I said earlier, where are we going with this? What's the most interesting takeaway? I think doing the smaller underdog surprise would probably be best here, with Io Sky retaining.
Yeah, I agree. I think Io Sky. I'm going to go with what I would want to happen. I want Io Sky to win. And I think that's basically the whole point. So, the good thing about this match is that if any one of them won, I still think this match is going to be great. And what I was also thinking about is that I'm so glad to see that women's wrestling has now been brought up to the same caliber as the men's wrestling. Because from watching all of these previous WrestleManias, I was like, God, women's wrestling just really does not matter, to be quite honest. They're just like, yeah, we'll have AJ Lee versus one of the Bella twins for the bright pink belt. Yeah, that sounds good. And it's just really kind of like, the interest is not really there. The Divas Championship. The big earring, basically. So I'm just so glad that I'm excited to watch women's wrestling as much as I am men's, which sounds condescending, but I'm like, no, that's not condescending. Women's wrestling has been bad for decades, to be quite honest. So, but now it's brilliant. So I'm going to go with Io Sky.
I think you're going to have one hell of a match with this one.
This is going to be great. This potentially could be match of the weekend. I think so. Yeah. I want Io to win. I think with the whole condescending, you're not part of this picture kind of thing is probably what they're leaning towards. But should Bianca win and should Rhea win, I'll be like, okay, but I'm personally going to go with Io Sky. I feel like she has to win based on the promos they've been doing on this one. So yeah, that would be good. I think Bianca and Rhea will somehow cancel each other out by being so beefy and so angry at each other. We'll just have Io come up going, oh, and she'll put a giant garbage can on her head and jump off the top of the stadium. And she does mental stuff like that. So yeah, I think we both agree on Io. So let's just move on then.
Yeah.
Second match on the card, I have got the Sin City Street Fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Ooh.
So this is a match they've nicely just slotted in, haven't they, to get some big juicy men in the ring. I'll start with this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. I think you've got two wrestlers here who are they're both great, but they also don't really know what to do with them. So I think it's cool they've got a match at the moment. So I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. I think he's going to take this one, but it doesn't really matter.
You've had the longest year building storyline between the two of them. You've had Damian Priest spoiling every opportunity for Drew McIntyre to get any form of win. Like last year at Mania, he came in, cashed in on Drew McIntyre after 5 minutes lead.
Oh yeah,
Whatever it was. And then he cost him at the Royal Rumble and an Elimination Chamber. So, could they do Damian Priest winning this? I think they want Drew McIntyre to be a big star. Like maybe next time they go for that WWE Championship.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely got all the tropes and traits to be in the WWE scene. The higher echelon. I think so. I'd like to see him as a WWE champ. I feel like that Drew McIntyre, it's not feel like it's true. He's never really been given his stars. Like every time he's won it, it's been taken away. Or when he won the championship for the first time, it was in front of no one. And then when they brought WrestleMania 37 in front of a crowd for the first time against Bobby Lashley, I was like, surely they're going to give Drew the big win because he won in front of no one. But no, he lost. So it seems like any WrestleMania opportunity this man's been given has just been taken away. And that's kind of his story arc, tragically. So at some point, I think that he will get that. And yeah, it's a street fight. Sure, get those kendo sticks out and just start slapping each other with them. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Drew. I believe Drew could do with a nice, genuine victory that has no screw afterwards. Are you going with Damien?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre also. Although I feel like Damian Priest has somewhat come into himself a bit since he won the championship last year. But before then, I remember messaging you like, "What is Damian Priest Judgment Day doing?" Like, I just have no feelings towards him. He's just there, and then all of a sudden, he was a bigger thing.
Yeah, he did. He kind of, when he got the belt, he kind of grew into that championship role. I kind of felt the same, actually. I was like, sometimes, I mean, the thing is that WWE creative, they're doing really well with the wrestlers they've got. That somebody always takes a bit of a backfall and think, oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, kind of forgot about him. So it does happen, and Damian Priest did feel like that for a while.
Yeah.
Whereas like Drew McIntyre just literally come off the back of an amazing feud with CM Punk, which ended at the Hell in a Cell match, which was amazing. So yeah, I think Drew McIntyre to win this one. Okay, next up.
I wish he kept his
Go on.
eye patch on, Rich. I wish they kept his eye patch on for just a bit longer.
What was that about?
I think the reveal could have happened at Mania for that. Like, oh, he's doing really well. Oh no, he can see, and then
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was wearing an eye patch, and I was like, interesting. I was like, was that part of a story? Or he just got a bit of a lazy eye, or interesting look? Yeah, I'm gonna wear the eye patch tonight. Why? All right, sure.
I think he actually got a little bit of glass in his eye. I think.
Yeah, because he got choke slammed onto the back of the car. Sorry, the front of the car. Yeah, got a little bit of glass in his eye.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, which I think this is going to be a great match. I think it's Logan Paul is annoyingly talented. To be quite honest, he's such a good heel because everybody just hates this man. Like they just hate him. He's got a very smug, smackable face. I don't hate Logan Paul because I I didn't really know much about him before until he joined the WWE. I just knew that everybody hates him, but everyone loves his drink. So, well, kids love his drink. Uh,
Yeah.
but I went first last time, so I'll let you take this one. So, who have you got on this one?
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
But more interestingly enough, I just want to just ask you what
Yeah.
you think the pre meeting's going to be like with the two of them, Logan and AJ. What are you going to flip off of? What am I going to flip off of? What are you going to flip off? Should we flip off at the same time?
Yeah, that's
What
the
are we going
thing.
to do? That's going to be a very interesting conversation.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we've already had Ricochet and Logan Paul doing the jumping in the rings, clapping each other in the air. So you might have something similar. I'm expecting possibly a solid counter from the phenomenal forearm. I'm not sure what he's going to do with that, but only recently he started doing his actual finisher, which Logan Paul's actually got a really good finisher. To be quite honest, the implosion or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But he has like this, sets him up for the back body drop, throws him
Exploder?
over, and then turns it into a DDT. And I was like, that's actually a really cool finisher. Come to think of it. So it's going to be high flying. It's going to be pretty fast paced. I think this is going to be a really, really good match. But I agree. I think Logan Paul's going to win this one because AJ Styles he's not far, in my opinion, he's not far off probably retiring and being put into the Hall of Fame. I think so. He doesn't need the win. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be very entertaining. Maybe it will go viral.
I don't want to see somebody in a prime getting beaten up.
Oh yeah, which
This
YouTube
year.
star is going to be in a prime costume this time? Who's it going to be? Last year it was I Show Speed, was it? I didn't even know who that was.
Go with Zoella.
Zoella. I'm just going to trust her. I'd love it, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast in I don't know, trying to flog his own chocolate bars and
Beast, yeah.
yeah. But somehow I don't know about that. But either way, there's going to be table spots. There's going to be high flying. There's going to be counters. This could be a contender for the best match of the day, possibly weekend. And it's funny because nothing's riding on it. So they've just gone Logan Paul, AJ Styles. He's free. Yeah, we could do that. So why not?
Yeah. They've just signed Logan Paul to Raw.
Yeah.
So I think you beat AJ Styles. Where are you going next? Whatever the
Yeah.
title.
Yeah. I think Logan Paul needs the win. AJ doesn't. AJ's on the card because it's great to have AJ Styles there because he is amazing to watch. And but I believe that he's probably going to be retiring soon. Not because I think he's showing age or anything like that at all. I just have a feeling that what else is there to do, to be quite honest. So yeah. All right then. Next up, I am split on this one big time. This is the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship, and it is Bron Breakker, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. And I am very torn on this one, to be quite honest. Looking at this, I'm looking to see where... Okay, so first of all, Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, you've got drama there. If Dominic pins or Finn pins Dominic for the championship, that's going to cause friction in the Judgment Day. So I was like, that's a good storyline you could have there. But I also see Bron Breakker retaining because he's a machine. But I'm also starting to think that he's actually bigger than the belt itself. So part of me is saying, I think Penta would be a good person to have the Intercontinental Championship because it feels like he's got his own little segment on Monday Night Raw. It's like, okay, we do this bit, and this is the Penta segment. I feel like he's got like his own little section, so why not turn that into a kind of like John Cena Open Challenge for the United States Championship? He could do it for the Intercontinental and maybe give it a bit of gravitas. So there's so many different ways I think you could go with this match. Personally, I think Bron Breakker's going to retain.
I wish you didn't say that first.
See what I mean? It's like there's so many ways. Because I'm like, it could go either way. It would look great on Dominic because I think Dominic should have a belt. Like that would piss off so many people.
Yeah. Unlike his dad, it doesn't win very much at WrestleMania. Dominic Mysterio. So it'd be good that he has that win.
Yeah.
By pinning Finn Balor.
To me, that was the story that's going on there. That's where the drama is. But I was like, Bron Breakker could retain this. Yeah, sure, because he's a beast. He's a future champion, no question. But I feel like Penta could also... He could be like... He can keep the Intercontinental for a while and be the guy to beat. Because I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's charismatic. I think he's definitely made the luchador wrestling a lot more interesting. Apart from, of course, El Grande Americano. But... yeah, but I'm going to go Bron Breakker to retain.
After the epic spear on Carlito the other week, do you remember this?
Oh, it's poetry. I was just like, that is, oh man.
He did like a somersault in mid spear. That was just a somersault.
He has the best spear.
Yeah. I don't think he needs the Intercontinental Championship anymore.
No. That's why.
I'm going to go with Dominic.
You're going
Dominic
with
Mysterio.
Dominic. Okay, going with Dominic, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Next match.
That was the most divisive match. That match was the one that I genuinely couldn't decide who was going to win. So I'm just going to go with Bron. Right then, what have we got? Now, there is one thing. There's only 2 matches left on here that I wanted to bring up. Is Randy Orton. So, Randy Orton was booked in for Kevin Owens. Obviously, that is not happening because Kevin Owens actually has to go have real neck surgery. Not WWE storyline can't be asked with this surgery. Got a theory. Because he made a big huff and a puff about this on SmackDown. He was very, very angry on this one because it's his 20th WrestleMania. I was like, right, okay. So he's not on the cards at all, but that doesn't mean he's not on the card. So I think at some point on the Sunday, because you've got 7 matches on the Saturday and 6 on the Sunday, got a little free space there. Nice little slot. So here's what I think. Randy Orton comes out. Have you had this thought? Did you think that Randy Orton was coming out just before I go any further?
Yeah. Open challenge.
We're thinking about the same thing then. So he comes out. He's like, it's WrestleMania. It's my 20th one. I'll take anyone who comes out to fight me. Bring him on down. Who have you got, Mark? You've clearly thought about this.
I have got Aleister Black.
Oh my God, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking that. That is amazing. Because I was like, Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But I've also got a couple of other people that could be.
Go on
as
then.
Well. Nick Aldis.
Looked like it was
Sikoa. Pat McAfee.
Imagine that. Yeah. I mean,
Sami Zayn at the long shot.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn.
Long shot. I don't know that there are rumors that he is heading back to WWE. I think his contract with AEW is up, but I'm not sure. But I was thinking like Aleister Black to come back to fight Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me just seems like a perfect fit. I think that'll be a nice little pop for the night, to be honest. So I'm sure they're trying to get it done. I'm sure they're trying to get him over to Vegas and go, come do this gig now.
Yeah.
So Kevin Owens is gone. It's right there, dude. So yeah, we could be. But that would be a nice surprise. But we both think the same, so it won't be. We were like, yeah, that's right. But yeah, so Randy Orton. Randy Orton versus Aleister Black. Let's just put a question mark on this then. Aleister's winning. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to put down Black. Yeah. Randy Orton doesn't need to win. He's all good. Okay, we've got 2 matches left. Now, this is probably a little bit too late in the card, but you've got the Women's Tag Team Championship match. The World Women's Tag Team Championship match of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Who have you got and why?
Are we taking the belts off them this soon? I don't know if that's the right time. And also, Lyra already has the Intercontinental.
Yeah,
she looked good with the 2 belts. Liv and Raquel, I think it's too soon to take it off them.
Yeah, I agree. They could be the ones to actually build the belts, because at the moment, I'd say it's not a championship that I think is really that appreciated at the moment, because it hasn't been built by the right team. So I think keeping it on, I think that would work out really nice if Dominic wins the Intercontinental and Liv retains the World Women's Tag Team Championship. That would be like a good fit, to be honest, because that would also work in a good storyline to really annoy Finn Balor and increase the tensions within the Judgment Day. Because even though they are as one unit, they're really not. To be quite honest, because Finn's too much of a hothead. So yeah, I think they're going to retain.
Then we could have the Wyatt Six come in, and
yes,
Judgment versus Wyatt Six.
What happened there? What's happened with the Wyatt Six? I heard that one of them wasn't able to compete for some medical reasons, so they thought, well, we are the Wyatt Six. There's not 6 of us, we're not doing it. That's what I heard. But I genuinely don't know, because I'm like, you've got a killer faction here that no one has seen. So maybe Raw after Mania?
I think Raw after Mania, for sure. Against the Judgment Day.
Of course.
We go.
I mean, yeah, you can say against the bloodline, but yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Main event time, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. And yes, I'm the same as you. Cannot wait. Who have you got, Mark?
Cody Rhodes to retain.
Really?
I'm backing up my theory from earlier.
Okay.
I think they're going to swerve us. Jey Uso versus Cena. Cena's going to kill Jey Uso the next day. I'm still going with it.
Yeah.
Let's say your thoughts.
Sure, John Cena. I think John Cena's winning this. The fact that they turned him heel was the deciding factor on this one, and I was like, he has to win the belt then. Like, because he needs to have the belt. He gets his 17 world championships. He's a horrible man, and now he's crushing kids' dreams that he's been building up for 20 years. And like I said, CM Punk versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. I was like, you've got to do it. It's Cena's last year. Like, it's got to happen. By the way, at Money in the Bank, Cena wins that. CM Punk doesn't win it. So Cena carries it on until maybe, I would say right up towards the end. I would say he carries the belt until Survivor Series. And then he drops it to probably CM Punk or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking on that. I'm thinking The Rock does get involved. I'm thinking there probably will be involvements in this match. I don't think it's just going to be as. I kind of like the idea that it would be a straight up just Cody versus Cena, just classic like match, no interferences. But I don't know, man. It was kind of initiated by The Rock. Like, so I feel like even though he says he's not going to be involved. Well, how many times have we heard that? Alexa Bliss will not be coming back for the Rumble. There you go. So go on, and that's what I think John Cena's winning. I think he has to.
Cody Rhodes, Rich, is standing for the company and all these world titles. He's standing for tradition.
Yeah.
And Cena's going to rip it from him.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Cena has got a lot more to add promo-wise as champion. I think his promos have been amazing. I was like, he's taken to the heel persona so well. It is just like his promos have been Cena's promos have always been good. Like, it's just him. Like, he is literally head to toe in merch. Like he's just like baseball cap, t-shirts, like knee pads, just like trainers. Even now it has a little rag. It's a nice little towel. Here you go, $10. Buy this, you idiot. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like everything he represents, and he's used that to turn against the universe. And I just think he's just been amazing. I think you can't do any.
Oh, I forgot to add.
No.
I forgot to add to my theory, by the way, Rich.
Go on, I'm sorry.
Gunther, then Joyan. So my theory of John Cena winning the World Heavyweight Championship is the third guy is actually Gunther, and he helps win with Cena.
And you think that Gunther kind of joined this like higher echelon faction, like a board of directors faction. Like, this is like, you've got Judgment Day, you've got Bloodline, but now you've got the Rock's faction that are just like, oh, the creme de la creme of wrestlers. Yeah. Maybe.
The only other person that could potentially be in the group is Logan Paul in that group.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. The thing is that like Logan Paul's kind of a part-timer. That's the thing. So he's like, he kind of,
they all are
irregular as Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is on our screens a lot more frequent now. But Logan Paul is kind of that. It's like, we need you for a show. All right, okay. He's not a week-to-week kind of guy. Like, I don't think Logan Paul has ever done a match on Raw or SmackDown. It's always been on a pay-per-view or something like that. So yeah, he's a bit of a part-timer because he's monstrously successful outside of WWE. So yeah. I think John Cena's going to win this. I think The Rock might get involved, but who's going to have Cody's corner? Or maybe no one is. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that wasn't meant to be The Undertaker, was it? That was meant to be Stone Cold. Let's be honest, because, like, cool, Undertaker, WrestleMania, there is a connection, just no connection here. Sure, why not? But I was like, that definitely should have been Austin. There's no question about it. It could be.
I'm going to change my... I'm going to change.
You're going to change?
The final prediction, the only one I'm changing, it's got to be Cena.
It's got to be. Yeah.
Has to be. Cody needs to be absolutely battered by the end of this match.
I think he will.
And goes away for a little bit. I think that's it needs to... be bloodline rules. They called it
bloodline rules.
So there needs There needs to be a Rock rules this year.
Oh man. Overall, there are predictions.